3, 2, 1, go. Okay. All right. We are live here and we are going to be talking. I'm really excited for you guys to hear these stories of my friends because they are incredible. This has changed so many people's lives, and I'm excited to share with you guys because that is really my passion. I want, and all of ours, is we want to help other people with their health because this has helped us. So, first off, I want to tell you guys, I mean, there is a huge problem. This isn't just America, it's worldwide, but in America, 93% of people are metabolically sick. They are struggling with their health, either with skin tags, belly fat, like you can see it in people. If you go to your family reunion, or maybe even on yourself, you can see the skin tags, the inflammation. You can see, maybe you hear people have high blood pressure or cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, um, sleep apnea, whatever inflammation, all of the itises are inflammation. These are all rooted, even like PCOS, erectile dysfunction, Alzheimer's disease, all of that is rooted in insulin resistance. And so I'm going to kind of briefly go over what insulin resistance is because nobody really knows what it is. It's very simple, but I had never heard the term before. And many, even type 2 diabetics, have never heard the term before. They just hear about blood sugar, right? It's all about blood sugar. Well, how does the blood sugar that we eat, so all of the food that we eat transforms into glucose, which is blood sugar, into our bloodstream, okay? But our bodies can only handle, let me show this really fast. Our bodies can only handle 1 teaspoon of blood sugar at a time, so like 1 cube. But for when we eat, it goes above that. And so how does that blood sugar go into the cell? Well, it needs a key, and that key is insulin. Insulin is the key that unlocks the door to all the cells in our body for that energy to come in. Every single cell has an insulin receptor. But because we are insulin resistant, some cells don't respond to that insulin. And so our body produces more and more insulin to try and open that cell so that it works properly. So wherever that is, okay, it can be in the eyes with retinopathy, it can be in the brain with Alzheimer's, the ovaries, PCOS, different areas of our body. Unfortunately, we don't get to decide, but when we help address the root cause of insulin resistance, instead of trying to manage all of these symptoms from the outside, so many things get better. If you really look at a plant, you can, work on the outside, but really it's the roots, what's happening with the roots, what is going on there, the foods that we eat, the sleep, our stress, all of the inflammatory foods. Again, the foods we eat are huge, and the timing, how often we eat. So I have some people here and myself, who are going to share our stories of our health and the family members that they have too. I know that this has helped a lot of their family members as well. So Celeste, maybe let's start with you and have you kind of share what you were dealing with before and what this system has helped you with.
Okay. So before this, I've just been struggling for a really long time to lose weight. And also constant swelling in my feet and neuropathy pain, brain fog, super tired all the time. And since I started this in August. And since then, I've lost 17 pounds. And my neuropathy pain and my swelling is completely gone. My hair loss has stopped. My brain fog is gone, and I have a lot more energy. What else? A lot more. I have an uncle who's been doing this, who was struggling with his heart skipping a beat, and it was skipping every 4th beat. And since he started doing this, that has stopped, and his heart is beating more normal now. And Even my grandma was struggling with IBS, and her IBS symptoms are gone. And it's just done some amazing things. My sister was struggling with acid reflux really bad, and it's taking care of that. It's just helped so many different people in my family.
That's awesome. I love that. And yeah, I mean, that's amazing again. And we'll tie this all together at the end, like what this is and what we're actually doing and using to help address it. But I love that there's so many different things that can improve when you just focus on two very simple things. So Kristen, do you want to go next? I know that you and I share similar stories too.
Yeah, I actually, this started about 11 years ago. I thought it was stress from getting ready to change jobs. I was changing school districts and it was just getting worse and worse. It didn't matter what I was eating. And it just seemed like I felt like puffy. I was starting to have trouble sleeping, brain fog. And like I said, as a teacher, I'm multitasking all day long and I was just starting to have a lot of brain fog. I was starting to just feel like I was dragging. It didn't matter what I was eating. I even went to just leafy greens and a piece of chicken, and I started to have a reaction to that. So I was diagnosed 10 years ago with IBS. So I just thought I was managing it with medicine that you would take before you eat, but that wasn't helping. And I didn't want to take that the rest of my life. I tried everything. I mean, any supplement, anything I saw a celebrity try, or anything you could just add to water that looks simple. I mean, any kind, I mean, vitamins, supplements. I mean, I tried everything. I've spent so much money. And then I saw your story in June. I went back through my camera roll and actually screenshotted you. So I know it was back in June. And I watched for about a month, but you do have the same or had the same situations. So I told my husband about it and I said I really wanted to try it because nothing is working. And so I started it in July. And the first month, I was just really excited to take it because I knew I was putting something really good in my body. And I didn't have to worry about breakfast anymore, which when I would eat just anything, I felt yucky. So I was excited that that was eliminated. And then the second month, I noticed that I wasn't in pain because I would look 3 or 4 months pregnant. It was like really hard and just really bloated. And like I said, after anything I ate. And so the second month, I noticed I wasn't in pain after anything I ate. And then the third month, I decided to get on the scale, which I don't do. And I had lost 8 pounds. And my husband had said he noticed that the inflammation was gone. I was starting to have like my ankles and my wrists were getting sore. And I thought that's odd, but I don't want to attribute anything to getting older. I thought I'm going to fight that. But I was starting to sleep. And like, even if you wake up in the middle of the night, I can get back in bed. And usually my mind would start racing and I'm awake, but I would fall back to sleep. I have no brain fog. My friends at work noticed that I look better. Like I just look like I feel better. One of my friends asks about my drink and I explained it to her. She goes, "Is that why you look like that?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I don't feel puffy." Both of my kids and I were diagnosed again with IBS-C, but we do not have any of those symptoms. My daughter had an injury 3.5 years ago, so she's been on a lot of medication and she's starting to lose that inflammation. I started her on this about 2 months ago, and she's starting to notice that the inflammation in her body is going down, which is really huge for her. I'm not, she is suffering from migraines from this accident. And so there's a lot of things we're trying, but I'm thinking this is also helping that as well. So she used to be extremely, extremely constipated. She wouldn't go for 3 to 7 days, and now she goes once or twice a day. My son says that he's in the 23 days he's taken it, he's already lost 10 pounds. And the inflammation in his body, now he can go more regularly and every day. So that's a helpful thing. Plus, both of them aren't like pushing away their plate and wanting to go lay down because they're in pain. So that's a really good thing. My sister, unofficially diagnosed with an illness, and she's noticing just an increase of energy. She's also lost weight, and you could see it within a month. I saw it. I mean, there's 6, 8 pounds that were gone. Third day of taking it, she played with my nephew for over an hour in the backyard. She said normally she wakes up in the morning planning her naps. So that was just really cool. People around me are noticing, so they're asking about what I'm drinking, which leads to really easy conversation. And my husband started it. It has to be his thing, but he started it. He started it on Black Friday because he said that way he'd remember when he started it. And he's noticing inflammation. He even mentioned he has a weekly Zoom on Wednesdays with one of his clients. And he said, my face looked thinner on Zoom today. So I think it's motivating. But just the people around me are starting to ask. And I think it's different because I went through and experienced what I experienced. And in the last 5 months, I've seen results and continued results. Like I feel good. Like I thousands of steps. My father-in-law said, can you keep going for another 2 hours? And I'm like, yeah, like I can just keep going. I don't need anything else. So I genuinely have this sense of like, I just genuinely feel better.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing for me too, is I felt like so big, so bloated all the time. My
Mhm.
stomach hurt. I just felt like it hurt all of the time. And
All
it
the
was
time.
embarrassing. I
Mhm.
didn't want to be around friends or family. I didn't want to eat around them. It just felt, I just hated it. So, and going, I don't want to TMI anybody, but going to the bathroom was so difficult. And seriously, I pray, like it's the weirdest thing to pray on the toilet, but I pray. I'm like, thank you for letting me go to the bathroom normally. Like
Yeah.
it was such a pain for years.
Yeah.
And yeah, so okay, so I'm really excited to hear Amy and Brian's story too. Brian, maybe share a little bit with your story and then we'll go to Amy.
Sure. Thanks, Sheridan. So, like we talked about around the beginning of September, I was in a couple of affiliate things with a guy named Daniel Kump, and he had taken a little break from doing these dailies that he would do. And when he came back, he started talking about this product. Now, as you can see, I'm still morbidly obese. At the beginning of the year, I was 397 pounds, and I had lost probably about 35 pounds from January until the beginning of September. So he came back and he started talking about, him and Kirsty started talking about this new thing, Feel Great system. And they explained it, talked about insulin resistance. And one of the things a couple of things that caught me was a 90-day money back guarantee. And also, I have a pretty healthy HSA from where I work. You can put it on your HSA. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll give it a try. Now, my situation, morbidly obese, psoriasis, sleep apnea, severe depression, brain fog, all the goodies of the insulin resistance, right? I drank this for about 3 days, and the depression is like, I'm like, where did it go? Brain fog, energy that was out of. There's so many things around this house right here that I've been trying to get done for years, and now I had the energy. I'm like, oh, let's go to the next one. Let's do the next one. It was just like it wasn't so much procrastination, but the depression was causing me to just have no energy and just not want to do anything. And once I started drinking this, it's like boom, 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 boom. Oh, I'm getting all the stuff done. And now something I've just recently noticed, um, like looking at nutrition facts on the back of my creatine bottle, I used to have to be like, okay, what does that say? I can read it now. So my eyes are actually starting to get better too.
Yeah.
That I don't have to squint. I can actually read the small handwriting right there. And so I started drinking it, and I was like, okay, well, right away, give me my 10-pack. And then I kind of hit some bumps and bruises with the 10-pack. I was like, okay, here's a great idea. Let me give them away to everybody so they can see how great this is. But I ran into something that I realized that I'm doing some other stuff as well, learning how to do cheese and giving away stuff for free. The problem is there's no buy-in. So all the people that I gave it to, I give them, hey, how are you doing on? Yeah, I drank a couple yesterday, and I'll probably start again next week. And I'm like, that ain't how it works. You got to actually use the product, get in the
You have to
protocol,
invest into it.
and do it. And they don't have any investment in it. So they're like, okay, well, I'll try it. 'Cause I told them how great it made me feel right off the bat. They're like, okay, well, I've been a week, I didn't feel nothing. I said, well, not everybody. I was in severe problems, and so I was able to notice it right off the bat easily. But I said, my brother, he's just as obese as me. I was like, man, just keep taking it and then keep looking at your weight. Now, the worst part I got right now is that I had to get surgery on my heel back at the beginning of November. So you might see my scooter in the background. So I'm scooting around, and it took a turn for the worse. So I haven't been able to get on a scale since the beginning of November, and that's killing me right now, because I also haven't been able to get back at the gym because I was going to the gym. So everything, it's kind of like a tool for me, the Feel Great system. It's all part of a system, fasting. So about 4 years ago, I lost 100 pounds, gained most of it back, 70 of it back. And it was intermittent fasting, and I ate the same thing every day. But back then, when I intermittent fasted, I'd be sitting there looking at the clock. Come on, 9 o'clock. Come on, 9 o'clock. Come on, 9 o'clock. Now I'm doing an 18 to 20 hour fast, it's like standing on my head. I get a little hungry, pull out the bottle. So what I'll do is I was using it. I got into the gym after the surgery, which probably I shouldn't have. But anyway, so I would drink half in the morning. I got rid of my pre-workout. This was my pre-workout now. And then throughout the day to lunch, I would just sip on it. Every time I have a little bit of hunger, a few sips, gone. So, at the beginning, I was having to tell myself, man, you got to eat some lunch. It's 1 o'clock already. So, it made fasting like a walk in the park. And I lost, so like I said, I lost about 40 pounds from January to September. From September till I had my surgery on November 7th, I'd lost 30 pounds just in those 2 months. I'd gone from a 56 to a 50 in my jeans, so now, like I said, though, not being able to do much, I can't put I'm non-weight bearing on my legs. So I'm working one leg at a time right now. So it did. And the reason I got this way is because of the depression. I was an emotional eater. I was replacing friendships that I lost with food, and going through this right now, I kind of got in a bad routine for the last month. So I was taking this, and I don't think I gained that much, but the amount of food I was going to Taco Bell, pizza, Domino's, Popeyes, so I'd be out like, man, I'm just going to get something. But taking the fiber before I ate everything, I think I gained some weight because the 50s are a little bit tighter, but it's not the amount of weight. I should be 25, 30 pounds heavier than I was when I went to surgery with the stuff I was eating. So, I'm not going to say you can eat whatever you want, but, it's definitely done. It's holding me back from gaining as much. And today I kind of caught that. I was like, because today was like I had to go to the doctor's appointment, put those jeans on. I was like, all right, we gotta cut back on some stuff now. So, but the other problem, and we had talked about this earlier, Sheridan, this time of year, I told her I'm going to go a little bit deep with the depression. Is that I don't know how I'm still here. During this time of the year, it's like December 20th, favorite day of the year, the day after Christmas, because in between Thanksgiving and Christmas, the depression that was set in because the depression stole. I never got a family. I never got married, had kids. And it just, this time of year was killing me every year, and as I got older, it get worse each year. And during the winter time, it's just the early darkness. But like I told you, this year, I'm like, man, everybody's coming over for Christmas. I think that was the bad part. I put the lights up, and I wasn't on the scooter a couple of times. I think that might be what split the surgical wound open. So don't tell my doctor. But anyway, so this year I'm looking forward to everybody coming here and celebrating Christmas with them. It's a total 180 from where I've been the last 10, 15 years, and I've been dealing with this. Mine came from stuff that happened during Desert Storm back in the 90s. So I've been dealing with this for years and years and years. But, this is, my goal is to try to be able to tell as many people as I can about this, because I want others to be able to turn their lives around. And I'm still a work in progress. You can see that. I got probably another 115 pounds to go. And, I'm thinking about, I got some other things in my head that I'm going to do with the distributorship to make like a challenge to have people, hey, come with me. I got a 100-pound challenge. And so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to this. And then, I'm looking forward to actually getting rid. I got a real job that I'm actually out on disability from, but I really don't want to go back to. So I want to try to get this going, come up with a plan to get this going, and, or retire early from that and do something I love, So that's my story.
I think your story is really going to change a lot of people's lives. And again, like, all of our stories are going to help other people. And so I'm so happy that you guys are all here. But again, just to touch on your story a little bit with mine too, like, I dealt with a lot of depression and anxiety, and we had this conversation earlier today, but the wintertime is tough.
Mhm.
Like, people get seasonal depression often, as a season, but when you have depression year round, the season when it comes is really
Oh.
hard and dark and heavy. And so, it is interesting when I first was using this for a handful of months going into that winter time, I felt confident. I was like, I can actually do this. I can start coming off my medications going into winter. And that was shocking to me to feel confident that I could do that. Like after 25 years of dreading wintertime because of that depression, it was like, it's amazing. And you want to help because you know that this can help them feel better. So I love that. And I think that your journey, as you continue to be consistent with it, is going to help others to say, hey, let's keep each other accountable. And I think that's awesome. And that you're excited to have family over. That's so great. And again, yes, you want to eat healthier, but this helps it especially when you don't eat healthy. So,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, we went on a cruise and it was eating, all of the time, and we still had our products. I could tell after, like, it wasn't the best decision, but, sometimes it is what it is. Also, this is what I was going to say as you were talking. Jelly Roll, just to bring up Jelly. Do you guys all know who Jelly Roll is?
Yeah,
He's
right.
a country. Anyway, he was on my husband was telling me about him on the Joe Rogan podcast just recently, talking about being addicted to food and using food as a coping mechanism. And many people do that. I mean, so many people do that. And so this is a way that you can help with that transition and help address the mind part, the, thought processes of your food and how you handle it and everything. Anyway, it was really good. So you might want to check that out too. Okay. Amy has some incredible stories with her family and herself too. So, and she does some incredible work with people as well. So tell us more.
Yeah. Well, my story is a little bit different than yours because it's taken me a while to figure out how this system has helped me, except that I feel better. I feel happier. I feel more confident. I feel my hair loss has slowed down. And in fact, I have tons of regrowth. My husband he's a type 1 diabetic, and he was able to, by using the product and the protocol, so the fasting and fiber, he was able to lose about 25 pounds and drop his blood pressure by 30 points. So that was great. He used to come to bed every night with itchiness all over his body. He'd just scratch and scratch and scratch, and then he'd have to finally get into a hot shower to get it to calm down. Since his blood pressure dropped, which was in March or April, he doesn't come to bed with itchies anymore. It was his nervous system calming down, but it couldn't calm down without flaring his whole body up. So that's phenomenal. But what I've noticed with anyone that I meet that uses this protocol is that their lives are improved. Now, life is about connection and family. So whether you're married and whether you have children or not, you have friends and you have co-workers and you have your siblings or parents. But when we don't feel well, it doesn't matter who it is around us. We don't want to be talking to anybody. That's me anyway. Like I just need to go back in my room and just focus on whatever. So it improves the connection with people around you by giving your body the ability to feel well. And that's amazing. One last thing that I was telling my husband is, and this is kind of strange to talk about, Sheridan, so I'm right with you all that it's potty talk. But I have 7 children. Our third child, I got hemorrhoids really bad, and they've never gone away. They're gone. And if anybody or any of you or any of the listeners have ever had a hemorrhoid that is swollen, it is like a knife up your rear end. So just saying it, potty talk right here. I'm the best
Yep.
at it.
It's well, you know what?
But really,
Sometimes you
it's
have to say these things,
painful.
and because some people deal with that, and they may hear this and be like, I struggle with that, and I needed to hear that. So
Mhm.
again, like
You know, I didn't know. Oh, what were you going to
well,
say?
I was just saying, like, sometimes you have to
I
say
didn't
it.
know that hemorrhoids. Yeah, yeah, you do. So I didn't know that hemorrhoids were linked to the liver and the health of your liver. Your liver cleanses the blood and that it needs to go all the way through your body. But with hemorrhoids, your blood pools down in that area. And that's what causes painful hemorrhoids. So this protocol heals the liver. In fact, it aids the liver in cleansing the blood by with this soluble fiber that is found in our protocol. So I'm just so grateful for that because things are so much easier. In so many ways.
That's
So
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I love hearing other people's stories. I love the fact that I feel good and I want to be open to relationships and friendships. And I feel that this protocol has helped me with that. And my husband, I posted a picture of him from last August until this August, or this, no, it was July, night and day. Inflammation gone. His eyes were more sparkly. It was pretty great.
That's
So that's my story.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I
Yeah.
love it. I mean, and I mean, you have a handful of people in your family with type 1, and just realizing,
Yeah,
like, I love that.
I do.
So we went to Florida, and we did not a Ragnar. What was it called? That race that we did, Spartan. Yeah,
Spartan. Yeah.
and how all of that was going towards type 1 diabetes research, which there's a lot of connection between gut health and type 1 diabetes and insulin resistance. And I mean, it's an autoimmune disease. And anyway, that's just one thing that I love. Like,
Well, most people don't know. Yeah, most people don't know that a type 1 diabetic can also be insulin resistant. And you can now, we have a daughter who they were giving her too much insulin as a young child, and she would wake up with migraines. This is 5 years old, and she'd have um, she would have seizures and I called the doctor one day and I said, hey, she's waking up with migraines. She's 6 years old. He's like, oh yeah, you have to come into the office. I don't know what to tell you. We just have you been writing everything down? And we could never stay up with all of the insulin that she was being given. And it was wrecking her brain. But I look back now because we have another child who was just recently diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. It's an autoimmune disease and it runs in our family. And they wanted to give her the same amount of insulin. And I said, no, no, no way. And so I watched it and I noticed that her numbers started to come down. And every time they would come down, I would take off the insulin. And I noticed that if I fed her high corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup,
mhm.
it would shoot her blood sugars up and it wouldn't come down. If she had anything with red food dye, same thing, shoot her blood sugars up, wouldn't come down. Anything with seed oils, same thing. So they wanted me to give her insulin and then continue to feed her all of these yucky things. Now, she's young, so that's really hard to eliminate all of that from her diet, especially when all of her friends are eating it. But if I took that from her diet, her blood sugars maintained level.
Yeah, that's
And the doctors with our older daughter just gave her tons of insulin. So I figured her body couldn't use all of that insulin and she should have, I don't know. She shouldn't, she should have had serious complications from this. But I believe her body to make it so she wasn't always absorbing all the insulin, it became insulin resistant and wouldn't accept that insulin and stored it. And then that caused a whole myriad of other problems that they didn't know how to fix.
Yeah.
So it was always chasing something until now I know. Now I know that that's what it was. Too much insulin, whether you're type 1, type 2, your body's going to say, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with this. It's got to be stored. So it
Mhm.
stores.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that
I
was
mean-
long-winded. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. And I mean that it stores in all different places. Like in the ovaries, it creates cysts. In the skin, it creates skin tags or overproduction of oil
Yep.
with the skin.
She had,
And
yeah, at 13 years old, she was starting to get those stripy brown marks on her neck.
wow.
This is my type 1 diabetic. 13 years old. And she started to swell, gained way more weight than a normal 13-year-old going through maturation. And all because we had no idea that we were giving her too much insulin and her body was storing that insulin. Same as my husband, he's down 20 units a day. He still has to take insulin, but the proper amount for the food that he eats so his body can use that and not store it.
The doctor told me couldn't fast.
Doctors have always told him that he can't fast. He fasted how many hours, honey?
68.
68 hours, and he was just fine on this protocol.
Holy cow.
Blood sugar like this.
And his blood sugar stayed just like this because he's on a Dexcom.
Yeah.
I watched everything.
How'd you feel?
I felt amazing. I felt like I could have went many more hours, but I was driving down to Las Vegas, so I had to, make sure I had a meal
Just be
before-
careful.
Yeah.
in the car. But,
Yeah.
That's
I'm telling you, this protocol is amazing.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. Okay, so we'll talk about, so let me explain what it is, because I know everyone's, I mean, maybe you do know, but people are like, what is the protocol? So you're doing some intermittent fasting, helping your body. And I know some people are like, no, you can't do that. You need to flow. Like there's some times where you have to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but you do not need to be snacking all the time. So the first part of this protocol is this yerba mate. So if you've never heard of yerba mate, think about green tea, okay? It's a different plant, but it's kind of like a tea, and it is this is just different than regular yerba mate. So regular yerba mate comes in these leaves. You can even find it in cans at the grocery store. Those are not this. This goes through a patented process that combines or makes it so that all of the plant nutrients stay intact. So you're not losing any of those plant nutrients. And the biggest part of it, so it's got theobromine, it has saponins. The biggest thing is chlorogenic acid. Okay, that's maybe something you've never heard of. And I've even talked to doctors, nurses, people who have never heard of chlorogenic acid before. This has been studied. It helps with inflammation. It helps with insulin sensitivity. It's all just part of food. Okay, this is just part of a plant. And when you have that, when you can concentrate it down and be giving your body good plant nutrients, like Kristen said, you're giving your body something good that's helping the cells work better. And then the other part is this fiber matrix. Okay, they both come in these little packets. Oops, I have them open because I've used them, but the powder's coming out. But these are really easy to take with you. It's so simple. Okay, so you sip on this in the morning in place of breakfast. That's what most of us do. So we're doing that a little bit of intermittent fasting. And again, it makes it really easy. And then before the largest meal, carb heaviest meal, which is usually dinner, you have this fiber, okay? And that's going to help blunt that blood sugar spike by almost half, 43%, an overall 43% reduction. So this helps you become insulin sensitive. And we don't want to spike, because every single time we spike our blood sugar, doesn't matter our weight, it doesn't matter what it is, those spikes cause inflammation in our body because our body can't handle too much blood sugar at a time. So whenever that happens, that inflammation comes. So that's why you can see, like quote unquote skinny people who deal with migraines, who deal with, struggle with PCOS, struggle with other issues, hair loss, skin tags, acne, depression, anxiety. And when you can control that and feed your body fiber, okay, like Amy was saying, it helps detox your body, detox your blood, helps it protect it so that all of that isn't coming into our body in the first place, and feeds our good bacteria. So we have trillions of, I could dive into this and maybe I will on a live one day. Our stomach, our microbiome is so cool, and they're still learning more about it. But there are different microorganisms that help with different things in our body, different hormones, different neurochemicals that, our gut is referred to as our second brain. And so that fiber is so important to help with those. So that's it. It really is so simple, so easy. I actually want to ask you guys all, what was your first, because again, the thing is, you, like Brian was saying, you have to give it time. Like for Brian, it happened really quick. For me, it was a couple weeks, and I was so resistant to seeing the result, like seeing that it was actually working for me. But giving your body time, I didn't love sipping on this at the beginning. It would just, but I knew, again, I was trying to prove my husband wrong. And I love what Kristen said. You just knew you're doing something good for you. But what were your thoughts when you first tried this? This one can be difficult. You just drink it right away. If you wait, it thickens. So tell me what your guys' thoughts were.
So I started with the Fierce. So that was like, yeah, and which I think I went to go change from to the lemon ginger on my next subscription, but I didn't see the Fierce anymore. I was like, you know what? I want to try the Fierce and go back to the Fierce. I think they took Fierce off the board.
Yeah.
But so I got the ginger because I did get one person to get on the program, and he gave me the lemon ginger, and it's got a little bit of kick to it. But the balance, I didn't have any problem with it. I did exactly what you said. Shake it up, drink it, shoot it, no problem. So I haven't tried the berry. Now I'm drinking the natural lemon. It's just like, I need my spice back a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to the ginger lemon, get a little bit of kick to it. But
Nice.
no, I haven't had it. I love drinking it all day long, But you're right. At first, just the simple one, it was a different flavor. But I started
like, what is this? Okay, I don't know. I love it
now.
now.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the one thing I don't do, I try not to drink it past 3:00 because I feel if I do, then I can't get to sleep until like 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it does keep me, a little bit, but I try to keep it before 3:00. I do that, I sleep great.
That's
So,
awesome.
But that's how I got started
Yeah.
when I thought of it.
Kristen, what were your thoughts?
I liked it, but I like all those kind of healthy things. So I didn't really have an issue with it. I still cannot drink one packet of fiber. I've tried a couple times at night, but I don't feel comfortable all night long. And like I said, I try to explain to people, it's not like you're going to get that crampy, like hurry up, I got to go to the bathroom feeling, but I just don't feel good. So I do half a packet with 8 ounces of water for lunch and the other half for dinner. My husband can do the whole packet with the 8 ounces of water. And for him, I thought that, he's not going to like it. But he goes, that tasted kind of good. So I was like, yay. And I didn't share that he is type 2 diabetic. So I was, I'm kind of excited to see what this does for him, because he said, well, what about the fasting? And I said, I need you to get the products in your body. And I think by the 3rd day, he was doing the fasting. And he said, even today, he's like, he goes, I could have kept going with the fasting. And I looked at the clock and he goes, it's 2:00. I have to put something in my body, But I think I like the way it tastes. I even like that raspberry pomegranate one.
I do too.
I really do like that one, and I don't mind the orange flavor at all. Even adding ice. So adding the ice to the Unimate in the morning, I added a couple times while I'm in class. And then adding a couple ice cubes to the balance makes it taste really good too. Yeah.
Never tried
So
it.
I like it. I don't mind. Yeah, but I had to warn, like my sister, I warned her because she kind of sipped. I'm like, no, you can't you can't sip it. You got to drink it right away. And what it's going to do is turn into like this gel-like consistency, but that's got to happen inside your body, not inside your container. And so, but I like it. I have no problem with it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Celeste, what was your thoughts?
I loved it right off the bat. Well,
That's good.
I liked the lemon and I like it really cold. I like it with ice. I didn't particularly like the orange fiber. I was more expecting orange juice and it wasn't as sweet as orange juice, but I really like the berry. And now I'm fine with the orange. I don't mind it at all, but I did like the berry one better. But my favorite is the raspberry pomegranate Unamate. I really, really like that one.
Yeah, it's good.
Um,
What about you, Amy? Oh, you're muted, Amy. There you go.
You're all frozen.
Are?
Am I frozen?
No.
No.
I don't know.
You can you hear us?
I can hear you now. Just everybody's frozen, but
Oh
That's-
no. I hope we're not frozen for everybody else, but you're a guest room. Oh, really? Guest trying to get in. Oh, I don't know who's trying to get in. Oh, maybe it's
It looks like
me.
she just froze up.
Yeah. Shoot, her connection might be gone. Okay,
Yeah.
so I wonder if she's trying to get on a different. Oh shoot. Okay, let me see. Let me just see if she's trying to get on. I'll share. I'll share mine. Yeah, I didn't love it at the beginning, and I was adding like some like true lemon to it so that it would taste more like lemonade. But now I love it. I can do it without anything, and it's totally fine. But I didn't love it at the beginning. I didn't love the fiber. Like again, I was going to prove my husband wrong, so I was just in it. Like I was like, I'm not doing this. Like I am doing it, but I'm doing it resistantly. So, but again, I just want to give that out there for people too, because sometimes they come in and they're like, oh, I don't like the taste, but I have told people so many times, Kristen, what you have said is like, the first off, go into it knowing you are doing something good for your body. You are giving your body something that is healing, that is good, that your body needs. And so when you can think about it like that and help them, just through that process and realize, give your body time. You spent years getting your body to where it's at, struggling. Give your body time to get back. We all want these quick fixes. We all want these, injections and pills and things that are, have side effects. And we need to just make sure that we're giving our body time with this to help get those results in a safe, easy way that's sustainable and long lasting. And honestly, that's one thing too that I've loved is like, I consider this part of our grocery bill. Like, we don't buy the same snacks that we used to. We stopped eating. Like, we had a box of those small bags of chips. Like, even my kids, so my kids use this, but even my kids, they stopped eating the chips like they used to. They stopped eating all of the things like they used to. So we stopped buying it, and it's really cost neutral, when you just give do this in place of breakfast. How much is breakfast? A couple dollars. But most people too are spending $5-10 on snacks. They don't even realize it. Like, they'll go to the gas station or store and grab a granola bar or candy bar. And anyway, so I'm talking too much, and I don't want to be on here too long with these lives, but thank you guys. Do you guys have any last words of advice for people that are listening that are, considering this? Kristen, maybe I'll let you go first.
I would say echo what you're saying. Definitely give it time. I was going to add one thing that none of us had shared was the change in cravings. I was having them so bad. My husband and I will just end the night and we'll watch a show together. And my comment would always be, babe, do you have anything for me? And it's more like the change the flavor kind of a thing. It was bad. It was bad that I'm not a chocolate girl, but I just wanted something, It was so bad that I even got a detox system when we were in Puerto Vallarta from the doctor. And I did it for, she said, do it for 7 days. And I did it for 7 days. And I'm like, I think I need to go longer. She's like, you can finish what you have. And I ended up doing it almost a month. And yeah, it took away some of it. But this is unreal. If you open my pantry, my daughter comes home from BYU and she's like, you have food. I'm like, yeah, because we're not touching it. Like I'm not buying, we're not buying things, and there's no snacking. I don't have a craving. I might look at it and go, no, it doesn't even sound good to me. Like I don't want it. So the cravings are unreal. They're not even there. Like, and I'm not saying I have an aversion to food. It just, those cravings that I used to have, I don't have them anymore.
Yeah. Yep. That's awesome. Celeste, what about you?
I would just say, 90-day money back guarantee. If you don't see results, it's worth it. Like your health is worth it. You are worth it. Just try it. If it doesn't work, you're not out anything. So
Yeah. I mean, and that seriously, that's the best thing. Have looked at other things recently, and it's 30-day money back guarantee. I'm like, really? 30 days? That doesn't give you a lot of time to test things out. 90 days? Like that's how long you're supposed to test your A1C is 90 days. And so you can test this with your blood work. It's been clinically proven to work. It's in the PDR. It's got 20 plus clinical studies. And again, like Brian said, it's HSA and FSA qualified. So you can use that to purchase this. And I mean, it's awesome. So Brian, what's some last words that you would have?
So we hadn't talked about that. Celeste kind of stole my thunder with the 90 days. You got it. Nobody's the same, right? Nobody's body is the same. So like me, it hit right away. Some people, it may take a little bit longer, but this company gives you 90 days to figure it out. Now, one of the things I don't think anybody talked about, you are also going to get access to an app that you can use to track your fasting. So you track, hey, I took an Unamate, you hit the plus. I took another Unamate, you hit the plus. You put when you ate your first meal of the day, you put when you ate your last meal of the day. So you could just pull it out. How long have I been? I didn't know I was fasted 18 hours. Guess I'll eat something now. So, it's great to keep track and give it a shot, because I'll tell you, this has changed my life. And I know that if you give it a shot and you have issues, insulin resistance, whatever you're dealing with, you're probably going to see a big difference in your life. So take the step, take the jump, and do it. So
yeah, I love it. Thank you. Yeah, do something for yourself and do something for your family. Again, I've been seeing so many posts recently from big doctors and influencers saying your health is the best gift that you can give someone. Do something for your health or for your loved ones and start taking care of your health. So this is an awesome way to do that. Please reach out to any one of us wherever you're seeing it. We are on a mission to help others feel better. So thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Be on again soon.